selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields. We're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and Equistar internet systems. Starlink and Equistar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
No.
Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter will be available to play in Week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL ruled today that Carter was handed a one-game suspension for spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott in the opening moments of their season opener on Thursday. But because Carter was ejected from the game, the NFL is counting that as his one-game suspension. He will also lose a game check worth more than $57,000. But Carter will be available to play for Philadelphia coming up on Sunday in a Super Bowl rematch with Kansas City. The 49ers placed tight end George Kittle on injured reserve. He strained his hamstring in their victory over the Seahawks, so he's out for at least the next 4 games. The 49ers also released kicker Jake Moody and signed veteran kicker Eddie Pinheiro, who recently spent time with the Carolina Panthers. The Chicago Bulls' restricted free agent guard Josh Giddey came to terms on a 4-year, $100 million deal, according to ESPN. Cubs place outfielder Kyle Tucker on the injured list with a calf strain. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We're glad to be back and glad you're here. It's always a great day in South Dakota. We are live on Fox Sports Radio across the state. It's South Dakota Sports Talk Show, the Nate Brown Show, on and ready this Tuesday, a little Reaction Tuesday. We always have a Reaction Monday. We're going to have a Reaction Tuesday after the Vikings start 1-0. You know that. Welcome in. It is the Nate Brown Show. We are streaming live on X at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch us live. Welcome in studio on X at Nate Brown Show, the Nate Brown Show, the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us if you're a YouTube person. Great content there with the live show and the archive show, so you can go back and just see exactly what I've been saying. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Also, one more place, Midwest Sports Plus. This show streaming live. Saying hi to everybody on Midwest Sports Plus, South Dakota's newest high school sports streamer, Midwest Sports Plus. Let's get ready to roll tonight on a Tuesday for your drive home. Some great guests. Let's go with Matthew Coller. He covered the game at Soldier Field in Chicago last night. He's back in the Twin Cities. Matthew Coller, Vikings writer, PurpleInsider.com. Great newsletter, great site. Matthew Coller's on the beat, and his take on the Vikings 1-0 start. Coming up from Minneapolis, we'll get to Mike McFeely tonight. McFeely hasn't been on for a while. He's from Fargo, North Dakota. He's a columnist for Inforum.com. We got to talk FCS, where he sees South Dakota State, North Dakota State, still ranked number 1, by the way. Is that a debate? Can we have that debate with Mike tonight? What does he think of USD's slow start? Mike McFeely in from the North, Inforum.com. Brian Noe, it's a Tuesday on the Nate Brown Show. Brian Noe's on Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown and talking ball after week 1 in the books. Brian Noe is in. And Doug Ottewill tonight. Big news out of Denver. Really big news and some stuff to discuss there with Doug Ottewill, longtime Broncos writer and Denver sports fan. He grew up a Denver fan when the Nuggets were really, really bad. I like this guy. He's got a long history in Denver, and so this is a big get on this day where Denver's going to make some changes to that sports landscape. Doug Ottewill's coming up, senior writer for Mile High Sports. Tuesday's show is packed. From high school to college to the pros, let's get you on as well. 605-720-1067. Join the show there. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. Our direct line on the Nate Brown Show with 2 locations in Rapid City. The Pizza Ranch Buffet is home of everyone's favorite buffet. Remember to stop by the Sioux Falls location at East 10th Street and also in Brandon tonight. So you've got a couple of Pizza Ranch locations to hit. East River, home of everyone's favorite buffet, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Barron's Wilson text line open for you guys as well. Text the show, 605-720-1067. You got the number. That's the text line, 605-720-1067. All right, you Vikings fans, question of the day right out of the gate. Are you more encouraged by what you saw last night, or are you less encouraged? Hope springs eternal in Minnesota sports fandom. Hope springs eternal. The Vikings, let me just take you through my Minnesota Vikings brothers' experience last night. Because I'm an objective viewer of the Vikings, right? I root for the Vikings because I want to see my brother have success. He used to wear a Vikings helmet during games. I mean, I got to see this guy get over the top. He's in his 50s. He needs to get over the top. So I root for the Vikings. I got a soft spot in my heart for the Vikings. I follow them closely. I'm a Broncos homer, if you want to call me that. Go ahead. I'm a Broncos homer. I'm a Vikings sentimental supporter, and I really love Vikings fans. I love you Vikings fans. Let me take you through my brother's experience last night. I don't know how many times he called. I don't know, 5, 6 times? Getting the calls early in the first half, what do you think he was saying? Just like all you guys. Well, I don't know. This isn't going to work. Hey, we can't do this. We can't do that. J.J. McCarthy, he's not ready for this. It's too fast. He doesn't have experience. Why did he play in the preseason? So the list goes on and on and on. Why did he play in the preseason? I mean, you went through all of this stuff, all the grievances. This isn't going to work out. And I was trying to explain, I know, I think this Vikings team's good. I'm a little worried about J.J. McCarthy now. I don't know what's going on. I think Kevin O'Connell should open it up a little bit. Trying to calm him down, the Minnesota sports Vikings fan. Calm down a little bit. And then, that was a few calls in the first half. Then the pick six was a killer. The pick six was a killer. And I actually was pretty worried. I almost did what? Referenced who? Oh, don't say his name. It's the evil Lord. Don't say his name. I almost referenced, well, the Vikings could have went with Aaron Rodgers after the pick six last night. I almost did that. I didn't want to upset my brother too much more. I almost did it. The Vikings could have went with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers wanted to come to Minnesota. You guys could have got him. I stepped off. I didn't want to go there. Let's take it easy. And then the explosion in the final 10 minutes. 2 passing touchdowns. He's just throwing missiles, throwing darts, as I like to say. The J.J. McCarthy show showed up. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. The Bears looked lost, and the Vikings come back in the final 10 minutes and win on the road in Chicago. And I was just waiting. Here's the phone. It rings after the game. Well, that was great. We went from, I can't believe this is going to happen. The Vikings are going to stink again. I don't know why this quarterback is a rookie. What are we doing? Hey, we won. That's cool. And so that's the Viking experience. Do I have that in a nutshell? Is that about right? I took you through the my Vikings brothers experience last night, and now I'm going to get into what should really be the assessment last night. What should really be the assessment? Are you more encouraged by what you saw last night? You saw the final 10 minutes was off the chain. J.J. McCarthy was the dude. He was the man. The passer rating went off the charts in the fourth quarter. I mean, the gamer and the winning mentality, that came through late. And so I'm trying to see, is that what you want to be encouraged by? As a Vikings fan, I think most of you guys, are going to say, I'm encouraged. If that's how this is going to go, maybe he's not going to be that good like he was in the fourth quarter, but he's not going to be that bad like he was in the first half, through the first three quarters, really. After that pick six, it was 17-6, and it was looking bad. It was looking like, here I am. I'm going to be ridiculed on the Nate Brown Show for saying the Vikings could win the NFC North. I picked the Vikings to win the NFC North. So I'm not pulling back from this. I'm still on this train, but I was really close to referencing the Dark Lord Aaron Rodgers. Why didn't the Vikings seriously take a look? I told you back in the day, maybe they should take a look. And then J.J. McCarthy comes through. So there's my question of the day, Vikings fans tonight. 605-720-1067, your direct line into the program, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Are you more encouraged by what you saw last night for this Viking season now, or really are you less encouraged that that's just not going to happen because why? You're not going to play the Bears every time like that. And so I think it's a serious question. I'm still going with the Vikes. That was good stuff in the fourth quarter. The defense really showed up after really the first couple of drives. They were a little soft, I thought. Needed to get mean, needed to get physical. They did. And that turned the corner. So the Bears didn't do much after the first quarter. I mean, they really didn't do much after the first quarter offensively. So this Vikings defense, I saw encouraging stuff there. That's going to travel. That's going to be there, I think, with Flores and the crew. So the Vikings defense, I think, is going to be fine. Secondary, okay. I don't think they're, like, unbelievable, but they're okay. Vikings defense will be fine. They're going to be top 10, I'd say. I'd say top 10. That's a safe bet. So if you got top 10, can you get J.J. McCarthy to play just half as good as he did in the fourth quarter? Just consistently throughout a whole game. I have a feeling you will. I don't think that was just lucky stuff last night. It was two things. J.J. got more comfortable as the game went on. I believe that. But Kevin O'Connell finally got it going for J.J. KOC's the man. KOC is the man. So that's how this played out. The J.J. McCarthy play calls, and when you had to do it, they opened it up. So I think it changed there. There was some conservative stuff, some bad plays. They didn't open it up. He had one pass in the first quarter. I mean, so it's like one pass. That's not going to cut it. So you got to mix it. You got to open it up a little earlier. And so I think the Vikings looked really, really good in the fourth quarter. It wasn't lucky stuff to me. Now the Bears, I have some comments about, okay? So hang tight on the Bears. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
We're going to the Super Bowl. Heaven forbid.
Come on, be serious.
No.
Be serious.
No, it was. I was most impressed when he threw that pick six, and he didn't flinch.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree. Like, I was watching, is he going to melt down? I mean, that was a low spot because he was struggling, and then that was bad.
Well, you got to think of the kid, 22 years old, national TV, Monday Night Football game, hometown. Hell, I'm old, and I'd be nervous as heck going into those types of situations.
No, I agree. Did you see the team's reaction after the game? All the stuff in the locker room. Have you seen that?
Yeah, they like him. There
Really?
isn't a doubt. They believe in him, and if you don't believe it, I mean, that's the best way you can go out, how he did last night.
Yes, a ton.
It's going to be interesting. And O'Connell, he's just a magician. So he's a good coach.
Okay, so you're encouraged.
No, it'll be good. I'm not going to overreact because I'm a Vikings fan, but I'm going to ride this as long as I can.
Did you hear what you just said? I'm not going to overreact because I'm a Vikings fan. Did you hear what you just said? All right. Thanks, man.
See you, Nate.
I appreciate you. That was a great line. That is a great line. Was he serious? I'm not going to overreact because I'm a Vikings fan. Vikings fans overreact both ways. We stink. We're never going to go anywhere. I just took you through my brother's life last night. He called 4 times in the first half. Well, here we go. It was already over. Then at the end, wow, that was awesome. I love it. After the Vikings' close win on the road, are you more encouraged now for the season, or are you less encouraged about the rough 3 quarters, honestly? This was the Bears. I said it last night on the show. You have to sweep the Bears if you want to actually be the real deal in the NFC North. I still believe that, totally. So you got to sweep the Bears. I'm not buying any people that are saying the Bears are going to be fairly good. I'm not buying that at all. Here's what I saw from the Bears. Just a little quick note. We don't talk much Bears on the show. Caleb Williams looks... how do I want to say this? He's unpredictable. Personality, his play, his mindset, the coach and him together. This looked like Ben Johnson. Look, he's cussing a little bit on the headset. He's rolling his eyes. They're not going to do well. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams aren't going to do well. That's an unpredictable quarterback. I don't know what he's going to do from one play to the next, from one throw to the next, let alone from one game to the next. So J.J. McCarthy's 22 years old. He's over here. The teammates, everybody's rallying, everybody's doing. Caleb Williams, even when things were going fairly well for the team, he's looking up into the air. He's looking up to the sky. He's doing. I mean, it's just bizarre. The guy's leadership, the character, I can't put my finger on it. It's bizarre. That's all I can say. It's not going to work. The Bears aren't going to be very good. Again, let's see here. Listener text coming in. The Bears choked the game away more than the Vikings winning it. Yeah, partially. I don't know about that. Partially. But JJ had to make the throws. He had to make those throws that he made, which were really, really good. Justin Jefferson dropped it twice last night. Once in the first half, it was a low throw. You got to bring it in. The other one in the second half, it was a high throw. Right through the hands. Right through the hands. It was a missile. Justin Jefferson dropped it twice. So, I mean, J.J. McCarthy got it going in the fourth. I don't think the Bears totally blew it. That wasn't like the Ravens meltdown. The Bears' defense was playing pretty well, and then they got torched. Listener text, I'm encouraged by J.J. McCarthy's performance. Let's remember, this is his first NFL game. Yeah, I mean, so that's a good point. That's why I would lean towards more encouraged than worried about the first 3 quarters. I'm more encouraged than worried about the first 3 quarters. Let's take another one as we get going tonight. Your reaction, thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. How you doing, buddy?
All right, man. I'm doing good. What do you say?
Hey, let's frickin' go.
Here we go.
So I don't know if you can have sound bites or whatever, but I don't even know what the name of the movie is, but you got that crazy look in your eye. We finally have that guy.
Oh.
He doesn't shy away from the light. Like in the fourth quarter, like we haven't had a fourth quarter guy in ever.
Okay,
and I am so pumped for that. Like we can actually, like if you watch the facial expressions of J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams last night,
yes,
like as Caleb Williams was falling apart, he just had that like roll his eyes.
Totally
like,
agree.
Oh,
yes.
geez, my goodness. And J.J. was just like, let's frickin' go.
I agree.
We're going to do this.
I agree.
And I am so happy that we have that guy.
That does matter, by the way.
I just hope he stays healthy.
Okay, that does matter, right? I mean, winner,
absolutely.
Gamer, whatever you want to say, right?
Yep.
That matters. He showed that. All right, brother.
100%.
Thanks for calling.
And made me $600 too. So.
Oh, I love that.
Heck yeah.
Hey, bring it. I love that.
Have a good night.
Thanks. You're going to have a good night. Plus 600 because of the Vikings win. That bringing it home. I like that. Let's see. Listener text. Vikings fan here. The Bears gave that game to us. If this was Green Bay we were playing, they would have had a 30-burger on us at halftime. With all the Bears penalties and the Vikings and the missed field goal, they were gifts to the Vikings. Well, no, I agree with that partially. I mean, this is the Bears. It is the Bears. Thus the question, are you more encouraged for the season or just less encouraged by the struggles you saw against the Bears? Let's go to the poll. 79% more positive for the season now. 21% more worried for the season now. Vikings fans are positive tonight. I'm with you. I picked the Vikings to win the NFC North last week on this program. I'm hanging with it. What a game in the fourth quarter last night. That was, and McJudgerson, our last caller there, he's been a long time listener to the show, big Vikings guy. He's right on. That's just a gamer. That's a winner. There's guys that are winners in sports. It's like my guy Josh Allen. Nobody recognized that. He's a winner, a gamer, a competitor. Caleb Williams is not. He's not. Matthew Coller in, Vikings writer for Purple Insider. He was at the game covering it last night. He's back in Minneapolis, and he's on the Nate Brown Show next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the winter time, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Hey, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show just getting going on a reaction Tuesday after the Vikings started 1-0, the J.J. McCarthy debut. Book it. Vikings 1-0, Bears 0-1. What I expected, but boy, what a wild, emotional, up and down deal last night. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Matthew Coller covered the game last night. His newsletter and website's great, purpleinsider.com. If you haven't hit it, you got to hit it. Purpleinsider.com for the coverage of the Vikings all season long from Matthew Coller. And he's on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Matthew, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. A little tired. I could use some Pizza Ranch, man. I'm kind of exhausted from that thing last night. I think I got back to my hotel at about 2 a.m. after covering that game. But, it was worth it. I mean, that was one of the most back and forth, just wild endings that you're going to find. But I also thought, J.J. McCarthy's debut, they wouldn't have it any other way than him doing that at Soldier Field. That's the history of the Vikings. So it was one that I think a lot of people who were there and a lot of Vikings fans watching around the world they'll remember that one for sure.
Okay, my brother's a Vikings fan. He's in his 50s. He called me 4 times in the first half and was saying all sorts of stuff. And then didn't call me much, and then after the pick 6, he was like, all right. And then after the game, he called me. He was like, well, that was cool. I was like, okay, that's the Vikings fan right there. Let's go to the first half. Was this Kevin O'Connell taking it easy on the progress on J.J. McCarthy getting into his first game? Was this J.J. McCarthy doing poorly?
I think it's a little bit of Category A and Category B. I mean, the first couple of plays, he comes out there, and the play clock runs down to the very last second, and you're thinking, yep, JJ, it's probably a little louder in here than they could recreate at practice, and it's a little more hectic, and the defense is giving you different looks than you tried to practice during the week, especially with a new defensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. And I think that it was all moving a little bit fast for J.J. McCarthy at the start. I also think that Kevin O'Connell was trying to protect McCarthy a little bit by giving him some easier stuff, trying to give him a little underneath stuff, and they didn't run the ball very well. They didn't execute some basic throws, not even JJ's fault, but one went through Jefferson's hands that would have been very close to a first down in the red zone. Another went through Jefferson's hands. We just don't see that much, but he barely got to practice all summer long, so that's something that probably won't happen again. It was kind of everything that can go wrong went wrong with the pick 6, and then it just turned on a dime late in that game. But I saw a lot of that on social media as well of, put in Carson Wentz, trade for Kirk Cousins and stuff. And I guess if we all didn't overreact to every single quarter of football, how much fun would it really be? But I think last night was definitely one of those games that even even when he was struggling, I was thinking this is just, there's going to be some patience required. And I don't know if Vikings fans had prepared themselves for that because they've built up J.J. McCarthy in their minds to just be Joe Montana right away. And it's like, that's usually not how things work in the NFL. Usually there are some really bad and ugly quarters, and it's how you deal with those as a young quarterback that tells us a lot about you. And, of course, he dealt with it as best he possibly could in the fourth quarter.
Here's what I noticed from the coaching side of this. When the Vikings were struggling, J.J. McCarthy was struggling. He throws a pick six. It was bad, 17-6. I saw Kevin O'Connell, his mindset, his personality, the way he was reacting, the way he was talking. I see that from O'Connell, and it's unbelievably good. Ben Johnson's over here ahead, and he's still rolling his eyes on some plays. Talk about Kevin O'Connell's approach here that you see.
I mean, I think that's always been who Kevin O'Connell is, that he really has an incredible understanding, probably beyond any coach that I've ever seen, of what his players need at that time of the game. I mean, we saw suddenly Kirk Cousins went from a quarterback that couldn't win a game at the end to a quarterback that won all the games at the end. Suddenly Sam Darnold went from a guy that nobody ever called clutch before to, throughout last year's regular season, came up with a ton of clutch plays. And I think that O'Connell understands the personalities of his quarterbacks and what they need to hear in the moment. J.J. McCarthy did not need someone yelling at him. And in fact, O'Connell said that he did most of the play correct on the pick six. It was that the cornerback just knew the route and jumped it and made a play. And I think that's what McCarthy needed to hear in that moment. Like, you didn't ruin everything. You did a lot right on the play. Go back out there and keep playing. Because I think if you do, roll your eyes, throw your, hands in the air and whatever at that moment with this young quarterback, like, O'Connell understands his body language, and every single thing is going to be perceived by his young quarterback. And I think it was really the difference in the game, because then McCarthy went back to his teammates and said in the huddle, where would you guys rather be? Like, let's go make this play. And I think that was what ended up leading to the victory, really, was just McCarthy not being shaken, and a huge amount of that credit does go to the head coach of this team. And I think that's why O'Connell wins so many of these games. I mean, people talk, I think, really wrongly about how, one-score games are all luck and everything else. And last night there was a lot of luck involved, like, don't get me wrong. But I don't think that it's all luck when you have an advantage like you do with Kevin O'Connell in those situations.
Matthew Coller on tonight from PurpleInsider.com. Vikings fans, if you're not there, get there. He covered the Bears-Vikings last night, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show tonight back in the Twin Cities, PurpleInsider.com. So McCarthy is called, he's a winner. A winner. Everybody say he's just a winner. Do you think there is such a player? I followed Josh Allen's career since Wyoming. I tried saying that back in the day when the Broncos didn't select him. I said, he's got unbelievable character. He's a gamer. He's a winner. He's competitive as heck. I believe he's different. Do you think that about McCarthy or not?
Yeah, I think that sometimes that type of phrasing is used for quarterbacks who aren't very good. And it's like, well, you can't see the skill, but they're a winner. But, your example with Josh Allen and J.J. McCarthy, where you're talking about first-round talents, and, a 10th overall draft pick who won a national championship, who's still growing, but you saw the arm talent last night on a few of those throws. The first touchdown to Justin Jefferson is an absolute laser beam, and you saw the athleticism of J.J. McCarthy being able to take off and run a 20-yard touchdown. There's not that many quarterbacks in the league. I mean, that number is growing because people are looking for these quarterbacks, but there's not that many quarterbacks who run that play in that moment and end up in the end zone because he's a great athlete. And so when you combine athleticism, arm strength, the ability to grasp an offense with a resilient type of attitude where McCarthy was not going to be shaken by having the first couple of quarters of that game not go his way. He wasn't going to lose confidence. He wasn't going to stop fighting. And that's another thing, too, with the NFL. There's a lot of quarterbacks, and I would say this for someone like Justin Fields, and we've seen it from Caleb Williams, where if you hit them enough, if you get them down enough, they'll kind of just go away and disappear, and they're not going to keep coming at you. And I think with, your example of Allen, of course, McCarthy's not yet Josh Allen, but I think we saw that on Sunday. There is no deficit that Josh Allen won't still be trying to rip that ball 40 yards down the field to make plays and bring people back. Then I think the same thing goes for McCarthy, where there's no deficit or nothing that's gone wrong. And I remember asking Harrison Smith the exact question that you're talking about one time, about that. And I think he brought up Ben Roethlisberger as a guy that no matter how much you hit him or how many times you intercepted him or whatever, he was always still in the game. And I think that's, to me, what a winner as a quarterback is somebody who is never out of it. And if you relax on defense for 1 minute, they're going to bring you back. And I think we saw that from McCarthy last night.
Last one for Matthew Coller on the Vikings win, purpleinsider.com. The defense got torched in the first quarter and then really shut the Bears down in a lot of ways. Thought they got more physical, maybe need to be a little more physical in certain ways. I don't know about the secondary still. There were spots that Caleb Williams missed. So where's this defense?
Yeah, I think that Ben Johnson remains good at drawing up plays to beat Brian Flores' defense. And there were opportunities there that, as I mentioned, the luck element was on display at times, because there's a fourth down where, Caleb Williams has a wide open receiver and just overthrows him. There were several other plays that were kind of like that. I think if you were concerned about the secondary going into the game, you don't walk out feeling like, oh no, they're good. Everything is all set. There were some times in that game where they either lucked out or they just got beat and they gave up, 10 completions in a row is not what you're looking for. So I don't think that they really proved any of the doubters wrong in the secondary, but I also think if you went in saying that this defensive line is going to cause so many problems that it's going to be tough on quarterbacks, you saw that. There was 13 quarterback pressures between Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. Jonathan Grenard played like a superstar. They got other contributions from rotational players. I think it was a really, really good display of what this defense is probably going to look like throughout the year, where it's not going to be perfect on the back end, but the front end is going to be so nasty that it makes a big difference.
Good stuff tonight from Matthew Coller on the Nate Brown Show, purpleinsider.com, covering the Vikings 1-0 at Chicago last night. Matthew, appreciate you hopping in. Thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Matthew Coller, Vikings writer, purpleinsider.com. The site has got a newsletter. Good stuff for the Vikings. Matthew Coller on tonight. All right, let's go NFL Week 1. Am I off on Caleb Williams? He had, 268 total yards, couple of touchdowns. I don't see it. I see a bizarre player. I just can't think Caleb Williams is going to bring the Bears back to, this is the great quarterback and leader. Two up and down and around. What does Brian Noe say? Brian Noe on Week 1 of the NFL, Fox Sports Radio national host, The Noe Show, coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch ticket from the South Dakota Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $50,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today and welcome to Jurassic Park. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly.
What makes a credit union different from a bank? At Highmark Credit Union, it starts with you. We're member-owned, not shareholder-driven. That means our earnings go back to you through better rates, lower fees, and personal service. Unlike big banks, we put people first. You're not just an account number, you're part of a community. Highmark Credit Union. Local, personal, and here for you. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book instant cash offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Remember when life was simple? Nope, me neither. The summer sun may feel great to us, but summer heat takes its toll on your vehicle. Don't risk your family's vacation fun by ignoring vehicle maintenance. When it comes to your vehicle maintenance or repair, keeping it simple is easy. The ASE certified technicians at Al's D&I can make sure your car is in top running condition. Maintenance now or fix it later. Most vehicles, most years, and most countries. Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Your sports, your show, the Nate Brown Show on across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live every afternoon drive on Fox Sports Radio. Follow us on Twitter. Watch the show live at Nate Brown Show. Welcome in if you're on Twitter /X, whatever you call it. We are there at Nate Brown Show on X. Doug Ottewill's coming up from Denver tonight. Mile High Sports. Big news out of Denver straight ahead. We'll get to that. Mike McFeely's on talking FCS. North Dakota State ranked number 1. Where are the Jacks at? They've had the 2 biggest wins in the FCS. Mike McFeely coming up from Fargo. Let's go to Vegas. He hosts Countdown on Fox Sports Radio every weekend. I heard him again this weekend. Does a great job getting you set for the biggest games on Fox Sports Radio. It is Brian No. And a Week 1 NFL recap with The No Show. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Nate Brown. Always good to hang with you, man. We had a crazy Week 1, huh? That was great.
It was really, really good. I want to go to last night. A lot of Vikings fans in South Dakota. I asked them, should they be more encouraged by what they saw or less encouraged for the season by what they saw in the first 3 quarters? What would your answer be?
Yeah, it's a great question, Nate, because I think a lot of the analysis just is drawn from like the final conclusion, right? Did you win the game? Did you lose the game? And to your point with that question, like the first 3 quarters matters. And of course, depending on who you're playing matters quite a bit too. And look, man, the Bears might finish dead last again in that division. So to struggle for 3 quarters, to be Cairo Santos 50-plus yard field goal away from being down by 14. I think the game flipped when Santos missed that field goal. If he makes that, I don't know that we're talking about a Vikings win today. And that's coming from someone who had Vikings in-game money on the line, Nate Brown. So that was a huge missed field goal. And I would say this, I would be more encouraged than less encouraged because at the end of the day, that is J.J. McCarthy's very first NFL start. So I'm not expecting him to be a finished product from the get-go. And he struggled early on. The pick 6 was bad, and it put them in the hole. But they dug out of it, and I think that's what matters the most. It's not like the Bears are a pushover. finishing last in the NFC North, you could still be right around a 500 team. That's a really tough division. So I don't think the Bears, especially with new head coach, are a total pushover. So to crawl out of that hole that they, had a lot to do with digging themselves, but to crawl out of it and get the win on the road like that, it was a madhouse there. I would be much more encouraged than discouraged.
Okay, so Brian, help me with Caleb Williams. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't really care about the Bears. I'm not an NFC North Vikings homer or anything. Caleb Williams, 268 yards total. He can run it. He got down there to the goal line. He can create. He can really zip the ball. He misses some throws because he gets like yips or something, like panics. Caleb Williams' mindset. I just look at him. He's shaking his head. He kind of rolls his eyes. His coach is cussing a little bit during bad plays. I don't see it from Caleb Williams. I don't like it. I just can't put my finger on it. Not the right guy that I want, but you tell me if he's going to be the guy.
No, I hear you, Nate. I think, what I see with Caleb Williams, because I see a lot of what you see. It was a mixed bag last night, right? It wasn't all bad. It obviously wasn't all good. He made some nice plays, made some things happen with his legs. The first touchdown run of the game, the passing numbers were pretty good overall. Had a couple of nice throws. He dropped his arm down and got a completion over the middle to, I think it was Roma Dunze later in the game, where he dropped his arm down and just worked it right around the defenders. A really nice throw. And then you'll see him just being accurate too often. And what I see, this might sound like a weird comparison, and I don't mean it stylistically, but what he reminds me of is a young Baker Mayfield. And, I'll go back in the hot tub time machine. I used to do local radio in Portland, and one of the NBA players for the Blazers at the time, C.J. McCollum, is a huge Browns fan. And I interviewed him one time, and I was like, I'm not a big Baker Mayfield guy. And he was like, why? What's up with that? And I said, look, man, Baker makes some really special plays, but he misses way too many of the layups. It's 3rd and 3. He's got a wide-open guy, and he just misses him. And that's what I see from Caleb Williams. He can make the special plays, but where he really needs to grow is making the simple plays. It's not missing the layups. He's like a WNBA player missing some of these easy layups. You got to hit your layups. And if he can do that, his talent is good enough where I think that he's going to be a good NFL quarterback in this league. It's not about, man, can he do something that's extraordinary? He can. It's like he needs to do the simple stuff to be special. It's weird how it works out, but I think that's really where he's at right now.
Why do I see him as not as mature as J.J. McCarthy, who's 22 years old, the youngest guy out there, as more mature? I don't see Williams. I don't see him as mature. I see him as bizarre. I think that stuff matters. I don't know. Maybe it's too much.
I think what it is, it would be like, take a great musician. If Prince, for instance, right? It makes sense with the Vikings playing last night. If Prince was on stage and just hit a sour note, because his talent is so good, he's probably not going to brush it off the way a lesser talented musician would. You know what I mean? He hits a sour note. He's like, oh, my gosh, what am I doing? I'm so much better than this. You know what I mean? That's what Caleb Williams does. That's why you see him so dejected, is because his talent is so much better than that for him to miss a wide-open receiver. And he knows it. He's like, what am I doing right now? That's why it hits so hard for him, I truly believe. But you're right. You've got to be able to roll with it, because I think that stuff can snowball. I think it can compound into a bigger problem. And you saw that last night, right? He kind of got into a rut. He's missing some throws that he knows he should make, and it just, one turns into two, turns into three, and he can't really get out of that space. He's got to find a way to get out of that so it doesn't keep snowballing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I want the Josh Allens, I want the Bo Nixes, I want the J.J. McCarthys, the mindsets. I don't really want the Caleb Williams. Okay, Brian Noah on tonight, Fox Sports Radio, national host. The show is called Countdown every weekend here on Fox Sports Radio. Speaking of Josh Allen, so the Bills come back, they win it, My pick to still win the AFC, I picked it last week, is the Ravens. Am I wrong?
Hey, it's one of these deals, Nate, where they're like, how could I put this? They're like Caleb Williams in the postseason, those Ravens. You know what I mean? They're so talented, and they deliver in the regular season time and time again. Week 1 was an exception. But the postseason, man, you saw what happened to them in the playoffs happen a couple of nights ago in Week 1, where they just don't have that clutch gene. And that's what I worry about them, Nate, is they wet themselves in big moments over and over and over again. They've just got the yips in big moments. I don't know why it happens, but it keeps happening, especially in the playoffs, right? You go back a couple of years ago against the Chiefs at home, their running backs got 6 carries. It's like, what? How does that happen? You guys are built on the running game, and your running backs got 6 carries. And then last year, 3 turnovers to the Bills, none. Nate Andrews drops an easy 2-point conversion. And it's like they're out of the playoffs again. They just lack that clutch gene, and that's what I worry about them on the big stage, especially when the playoffs roll around. They're certainly talented enough to get there, Nate. It's not a crazy pick by you at all. But I'll just be fashionably late to this party, man. Until they actually get over the hump and don't get in their own way, I'll just be late to that. I'm just going to fade them until they get there. Okay. And I'll be wrong one of these years, but I've been more right than wrong along the way.
Okay, the Chiefs are playing the Eagles. This is a biggie. Chiefs didn't look great. I don't know if the Eagles looked great. What do you see from these two Super Bowl rematch?
Man, great matchup, huh, Nate? How about the Chiefs trying to avoid an 0-2 hole? It's a great matchup. I'll put it this way. It didn't seem to matter in Week 1 because I thought, like many people thought, oh, man, the Chiefs, bad taste in their mouth, right? They got punked in the Super Bowl. They had to wait all off season. Finally, it's Week 1. It is go time. And it wasn't go time. They didn't look crisp at all against the Chargers. So I don't know if this whole Super Bowl rematch revenge angle really matters. The Eagles still have a better roster, and we'll see if the Chiefs at home can get it done. I certainly think they're capable, but what's working against them, Xavier Worthy banged up, no Rashee Rice. Those are a couple of 2 really important players on a lesser talented roster. So we'll see if Mahomes' magic is up for the test. But I'll tell you what, man, those Eagles, that is a tough roster. And we'll see if Jalen Hurts can get those wide receivers on track, like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They did nothing in Week 1. So I want to see if the passing game can be a lot better in Week 2 against KC.
Last one for Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio national host live from Vegas. How high are you on the Packers after their opening win? Everybody's talking Packers are the NFC team.
They looked good, Nate. I mean, hey, they looked really good. Their defense was outstanding. And they smacked around Detroit. They made Detroit look like, 6-11, run-of-the-mill type team. But I think very highly of Detroit. So for Green Bay to smack them around like that, pretty impressive. It's a long season. And I don't love their secondary. That's the thing. Their pass rush is really good, obviously, with Micah Parsons being over there. And he's not the only pass rusher that can get after you. Gary is pretty good. When you've got Gary and Parsons, 1-2, that's a pretty good combination right there. So their pass rush is good, but there are going to be times where they're just not getting home. And I don't love their secondary. Their secondary is just okay. Losing Jair Alexander, they're just okay back there. So I don't think by any stretch it's like, oh, man, here come the Packers, world beaters. They still have Matthew Golden, who might be a true number 1 receiver, and a bunch of 2s. Their offense at times is going to be bogged down because they just don't have great playmakers out there. So I like the Packers. I just don't love them. I'm dating the Packers right now. I'm seeing how things go, Nate. I need more information. I need to see how they handle, a bad situation. Let's say I spill pizza on them. How do they handle it? You know what I mean? That's what I feel about the Packers. Need more information, but like where they are as of right now.
I picked the Steelers to not win the AFC North, but to make the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers gets 4 touchdowns. Is Aaron ready to roll? Are the Steelers the team to make the playoffs?
I think they've got a great chance to make the playoffs. I would say that they do squeak in there. I just don't think it adds up, Nate, right? Like, ask yourself, it's been almost 2 decades since Mike Tomlin has been there. He's never had a losing record. And the 1 year he's going to have a losing record is when Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback. It just doesn't sound right, does it? They're probably going to have a winning record again. They're probably going to be a double-digit win team. And they're probably going to be in the playoffs. It was crazy, though. I mean, we're all not falling for it where the Steelers are some, like, prolific offense or something like that. They put up a ton of points, give them credit, but a couple of short fields, a couple of turnovers went their way. They didn't even gain 300 yards, so we're not going crazy over this, but it was a really solid debut, and, man, that had to feel good. I know he's going to downplay it in press conferences, and it had to feel good to smack around the Jets, a team that said, we don't think you can play anymore.
Yeah.
And then he goes right back there and throws 4 touchdowns. Had to feel real good for him.
Wild week 1. How good are the Steelers, the Packers, the Vikings? I didn't even mention my Broncos. We'll wait on that, Brian, okay? That was something. They win, but it was something on offense. Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio. Listen to him right here. It's called Countdown. Get you ready with betting lines, previews for the biggest games in college and the NFL. Brian, always great, man. Thanks a lot.
Always good hanging with you, Nate Brown. And I'll tell you what, you always look good, and that was not how Bo Nix looked in week 1. I'll leave it at that, buddy.
That is correct. Thank you very much. He had to get a shot. A shot. I already took my shots yesterday. Brian Noe on tonight, Countdown host here on Fox Sports Radio every weekend. And here on the Nate Brown Show, we'll try and do it every Tuesday with the No Show recapping the NFL in the week that was. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, big news out of Denver. And I've got a big opinion on this one with what the Broncos are going to do. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the wintertime, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
What do you call a place? One of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. How was your Tuesday? Solid? Hope you had a solid day. Coming up, a couple of great guests in the next hour. Mike McFeely's going to join us from North Dakota. A little perspective from the Bison guy. Yeah, Mike McFeely on tonight, talking FCS, Inforum.com. Coming up, where does he think the Jacks should be in the rankings this week? After 2 big wins. Jacks have the biggest wins in the FCS. They're ranked number 2. NDSU's still number 1. They've had a walkthrough first couple of weeks. Doug Ottewill's coming up from Denver. Big news in Denver. We'll get Doug's take. He's been a lifelong resident and a Denver sports media guy for a long time with Mile High Sports. Speaking of that news in Denver, let's go there here on the Nate Brown Show. So if you missed this, I just filled in my non-paid production staff at lunch today. We had a non-paid production staff meeting at lunch. We try and do it so I can get caught up in what people, really think out there in the world. These guys give a great perspective. I had to fill them in on the big news of Denver today, though. So if you missed this, you've been working hard, you didn't see this, the Denver Broncos ownership group has announced a brand new stadium plan that will be put into place here. They're going to work with the Denver City Council. They've got a lot of things moving, so they put it out there, the Walter Penner Group, and you look at it, you say, what's going to happen here with this? Why do the Broncos need a new stadium? Isn't Empower Field and Mile High okay? Well, this stadium's not going to be done till 2031. So that's the projected time frame. 2031 with a new stadium for the Broncos. And what are the most important things you should know about this? Here's a big one. This is going to be privately funded. This is going to be privately funded by the Broncos ownership group. This is the Walmart fan. Okay, this is the Walmart money. Not bad. So I hope they enjoy my Sam's Club purchases to help build this brand new stadium. So privately funded, that means no city taxes or citizen ask. So a lot of people say, hey, look at all these billionaire sports owners, and they're asking the public to fund their stadiums, at least partially. And that's how it's gone, like for every team. Honestly, I just saw a report from a Broncos writer today. He threw out all the public money that has been given to rich owners, and it's been nonstop. And I'm not against that. I think that's actually just how things usually work. But in this case, with the Broncos, no citizen ask. So the Walton Penner Group's going to put this thing together with private money. So Broncos' new stadium, privately funded, no taxes. That's the plan. And here's the other part of this. This is going to be brand new, state-of-the-art. It's going to have a retractable roof. So there's some new stadiums that have gone in, like Buffalo's going to debut theirs next year, Buffalo Bills. You would think, oh, you got to have a retractable roof on this thing. It's just going to be open air. It's going to be open air, Buffalo, snow, the weather, the whole thing. So I'm going to ask you, this is a hot-button topic. Should teams like the Broncos, who've been outdoors the entire time since the Mile High Stadium back in the day, should Broncos owners put in the retractable roof so now when you got the snow and the bad weather in December, January, you can put the roof over, climate control, you got it good to go. If you're a Broncos fan and you've went to games and you're a season ticket holder, there's a lot of you throughout the state. Are you on board with the retractable roof for the Broncos? That's my question of the day as I get into this thing. I want you to tell me where you stand on the retractable roof for the Broncos. Broncos announced the new stadium plan, state-of-the-art, retractable roof stadium. Do you like the retractable roof plan, or are you old school and you want to go outside? Matt Kearney, great producer of the Nate Brown Show, has tried arguing with me today that he thinks you should just do it outdoors, open air, just do it like it's been done before. This is the deal in Denver. It's the weather advantage and the whole thing. So you got like the Dolphins coming up for a playoff game, and you got the snow, you got the cold. It's Mile High. It's the mystique. It's the edge. It's the advantage. And guess what, Matt? I don't want to be sitting outside. When I went to the Chiefs game, the last game of the year in January, my feet, it was on snow. I went to another game in October a couple of years ago, late October. My feet were on snow. I took my 75-year-old mother to, and I mean, she barely lasted. She barely lasted through the game. Glad she made it. Barely lasted. So if we got retractable roof, we can climate control the thing in Denver. I'm all for that. I know we should go back to the old days like the Vikings. They played outside back in the old days. That was miserable. Everybody wants to say it's fun. It's fun for like the first quarter. And then the sun goes down. You get cold. Then it gets rough. Then your kid starts whining. Then you got somebody else drinking too many beers because he thinks it warms him up. And then he spills them all over the place. I mean, there's just so many things. They go, retractable roof, very good call. Very good call. You tell me, okay? Broncos new stadium, 605-720-1067. Listener text, can't do it. Imagine if Green Bay got a new stadium with a retractable roof. Well, yeah, good point. Good point. Not a bad point. Not a bad point. But it's still miserable. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you could say it's all fun. It's miserable. Thanks for calling. You're live tonight, and you go ahead.
So I don't know if it's miserable, but it's definitely an advantage to the home team.
Oh, you think so? The weather. Okay.
I certainly do.
But you have to both teams have to play in the bad weather. I do say that, too.
But the offense has the advantage because they know where they're, making a cut, break for a route.
Okay. Would you want that? Should the Vikings win outdoors?
The Vikings, I don't really care about. I like the red and gold. But
okay. All right.
I think when Miami came up 2 years ago, it was definitely an advantage. Those guys are.
I would agree with that. Agree with that. That really cold game in KC. All right, man. I appreciate you getting on. Thanks for calling in. No, I mean, there's, it definitely, the mystique, so I went to Wyoming games for many years. Okay, my brother started at Wyoming, so I went to Wyoming games. If you've ever been to Laramie, Wyoming in November, I'm glad you're still here to tell about it. But you got to be tougher than a $2 steak. I mean, you got to be tough. The wind, the elevation, it's cold. It's a bad place, man. I mean, the weather is definitely advantage to Wyoming when they were playing San Diego State in November. I mean, I was at those games. So I get it. But I'm telling you, from a fan's perspective, I love the retractable roof. And by the way, maybe when I was tougher when I was younger, it's like, oh, I'm tough. Hey, give me another beer. No, anyway, I never did that. When I was tougher, I was okay. I'm older. I'm a wuss. I'm paying $250 for this ticket. I want a nice experience. I want U.S. Bank Stadium. I want the new Broncos Stadium, retractable roof. I'm happy with that. And by the way, the real part about that, it's not just for the fans. The real part about the retractable roof, why the Broncos are going to do this with the Penner ownership group, it's the Final Four. They're going to put in a bid for that now. It's the Super Bowl. You got to have climate control. They tried the cold weather Super Bowl in New York back in whenever that was with my Broncos, with Peyton Manning, the first go-around. That was a disaster. Wind, cold, it was a mess. So the NFL's not going to do that anymore. They're going to go indoors, and that's why Denver said, hey, we're going to do up a brand-new stadium. We're going to go retractable roof. Otherwise, you'll never get a Super Bowl. You'll never get a Final Four. They want the big events. That's what that's really for. And it's for me to enjoy. Let's see. Listener text. I'm fine with the retractable roof. I'm a Broncos fan. I'd like to see it open air as much as possible, but this at least gives you the option. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like, let's say the Dolphins come up for a playoff game in 2031. That's when the stadium's supposed to be done. And it's cold, and it's snowing. Do the Broncos decide to keep the roof open? I mean, I guess they can decide. Do they decide to keep the roof open on a cold January playoff game if it's the Dolphins or whoever it is? Interesting question. Listener text, indoor stadium allows you to host a Super Bowl. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. That is the real reason, by the way. Listener text, the Broncos owners want to host the Super Bowl, plain and simple. Having a roof allows them to do it. Yes, correct. One more. Listener text, you're going to have a sissy dome home of the Broncos. Thank you. I'll take that. I'll be the number one sissy. And I'm going to be warm. I'm going to enjoy myself. It's going to be a lot of fun. Instead of having to put my feet on snow and try to shovel off my seat, come on. Give me a break. We're spending too much time and money to be on snow. And by the way, you Chiefs fans, you guys should do the same thing. If you want to, you're going to do a new stadium or renovate Arrowhead or whatever you're going to do, you should do the same thing if Kansas City's smart. You want the Super Bowl, you want the Final Four, you want concerts, all that stuff, you got to do a roof, a retractable roof where you can go open air and you can close it up. The Nate Brown Show into the second hour. 5 questions from Chris. Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5, and we're going to do it today. Next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Attention football fans, the BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort has it all. Watch your team on massive high-definition screens while enjoying live betting. Keep some skin in the game even when the odds don't go your way. Enter Jack's Second Chance Mulligan drawing by dropping your losing ticket for a shot at up to $200 in Cadillac cash every week. Satisfy your craving with mouth-watering Mexican cuisine from Guadalajara's or choose from 4 other food vendors, all while sipping on your favorite drinks. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your game play out?
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
We're talking with Britt Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for an Elevate Performance Health Minute. Britt, one of the injuries we hear a lot about in sports, an ACL tear. You can't prevent all injuries, but good sports performance training could help.
Yeah, Nate, one of the things that a lot of good sports performance training focuses on is trying to not only prepare athletes for the field of sport, but also try to mitigate their risk to sustain an injury. Unfortunately, things happen in sport. If anybody ever does experience an ACL tear that results in needing surgery to fix that, it's important to have a therapist on your side who can help them through prehab, rehab, and then return to sport. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes a long time to get back to the field of sport, but it's not impossible to do it all by any means. So just having that end goal in mind can be really beneficial for the rehab process.
When it comes to ACLs and sports performance training and treatment, get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in. Second hour ready to go. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. This hour driven by Summit Automotive Group. When it comes to pre-owned vehicles in South Dakota, start at summitautogrp.com. These guys know how to do it. I'm telling you, great selection. It only starts there. Experienced car buying built around you from the right financing, the right situation for your family. Start at summitautogrp.com. Experience the Summit difference. The Nate Brown Show is on. Mike McFeely is in talking FCS football through 2 weeks. Mike McFeely from North Dakota covers the Bison. Where does he think South Dakota State stacks up? Is he saying anything about USD with the 0-2 start as they lost to Lamar? Mike McFeely coming up from Inforum.com. We'll go to Denver and get reaction from Doug Ottewill, lifelong Denver resident, longtime sports writer for Mile High Sports on the new Broncos Stadium plan. Retractable roof. It's going to go pretty close to the new, stadium where it's at now. So picture this, across the interstate and just south. So if you've been to Denver like me all these years, across the interstate and south, a little bit closer to downtown. They're just down below downtown. It's in a rail yard. It's in a rail yard right now. So that's where the stadium would be planned. I asked the fans, do you like the retractable roof plan where the Broncos can close up the stadium in bad weather? 64% of you are voting on the Nate Brown Show question of the day that you like the roof. 64% say yes, give me the roof. 36% of you say no, put us out in the open air. I'm with the 64%. And by the way, my daughter chimes in. She's listening to the show. She says she would like the roof. She's been to Broncos games. She would like the roof. Thank you for your vote. All right, let's do this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
5 questions from Chris on a Tuesday. Our loyal listener, Chris, we talked last week up at the BetMGM Sportsbook in Deadwood. Chris, thanks for stopping by. He's got 5 more questions tonight. Question number 1. Who do you think is the happiest after the first week of the NFL? Your boy, Josh Allen? What about Aaron Rodgers? Who do you think is the most happy? I'm going to say J.J. McCarthy. Because it was bad last night, and then it went from 0 to 100, and McCarthy flipped the script. J.J. McCarthy, first game ever, his debut, and he gets a win on the road at Chicago. When it went from bad, he was going to be going through the gauntlet. Everybody's going to say how bad it is, how terrible he is, and it flipped. J.J. McCarthy, the most happy after week 1. Question number 2. How about the Baltimore Ravens? They lose in the end. Can you explain why they've lost 8 games since 2021 when the odds say they have a 90% chance of winning that game? Can you explain why they let games slip away? I cannot explain it. I don't think it's a mental thing like, oh no, we're going to win. We don't know how to win. Oh no, something bad's going to happen. The Ravens are really, really good. I think it's just a crapshoot. I don't know why Derrick Henry fumbled the ball. If he doesn't, they win. Then when things start snowballing, it just snowballs. So I don't know why the Ravens have choked away games in the regular season for the last 4 years. I still think the Ravens are the team in the AFC. It just happens. Question number 3. Week 1 college matchup between Texas and Ohio State's on average of 16 million viewers, peaked at 18 million. Do you think the media partners of Fox and ESPN are already discussing how to merge the Big Ten and SEC to get huge coverage in the media deals? No, they won't. SEC and Big Ten, they're not going to combine them, Fox and ESPN. I don't think so. They're each going to take their own. I think ESPN's going to keep the SEC. Fox is going to keep the Big Ten. They're not going to team up on that. I just don't think so. They're each going to take their brand. They're each going to get big dollars, and they're each going to have big exposure. Fox and ESPN are teaming up in a bundle. That's all the teaming up you're going to see. They're going to compete with those 2 college football brands. Fox has the Big Ten. ESPN has the SEC, and that's the way it's going to be. Question number 4. Speaking of college football, the NIL and revenue sharing is creating a disparity between the haves and have-nots. Oregon could have $40 million, while Oklahoma State last week is closer to $20 million for their team. Mike Gundy would like to eliminate the FCS and FBS games, and then you'd have better games. Do you think the Power 4 conference should adopt Gundy's idea to try and get the best matchups for better games and better viewing? I think they're probably going to go away from the FCS, FBS matchups, Chris. I do think that. I don't know when. Because Nebraska, they playing FCS teams at Alabama. This is bad. I don't think you're going to have very many FBS, FCS matchups anymore. I really don't. I think you're going to want better games, and I think when this college football landscape shifts, the whole FBS thing's going to change. The FCS thing's going to change. And no, I don't think you're going to have huge money games anymore with bad FCS teams playing FBS teams. There were some bad games. Ohio State played Grambling. It was 70-0. You just can't have it. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. Major League Baseball season winding down. About 15 games left. Dodgers and Padres fighting for the NL West crown. If the Dodgers collapse and don't win the division, do you think Dave Roberts could be let go if they get bounced early in the playoffs? I do not think so. Dave Roberts is going to hang in there with the Dodgers. They were a big favorite. They haven't performed, but they've had injuries. They haven't had good pitching. No matter what the Dodgers do, they win the World Series. If they fall short of that, they get bounced early in the playoffs. Dave Roberts is fine, Chris. He is fine with the Dodgers. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Mike McFeely talking FCS and what he thinks of the new look South Dakota State Jackrabbits coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people, from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Andersen Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the wintertime, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Andersen Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
It's a triple header of high school football action this weekend on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Rapid City Christian Comics return home to face Del Rapids Friday evening at 5:30. Then on Saturday is coverage of the 33rd Annual Rushmore Bowl as Rapid City Central battles Harrisburg at 2, followed by Rapid City Stevens and Sturgis at 5. Join Dean Gura and me, Jerome Wickersham, for the pregame shows Friday at 5:15 and Saturday at 1:45. Don't miss high school football action this weekend right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio across the state. The Nate Brown Show is on. Thanks for being here tonight. Second hour rolling. If you missed some of the guests on the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It's on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Search the Nate Brown Show, and then you've got this show every day on demand. Matthew Coller opened it up tonight. Vikings writer covered the Vikings win last night in Chicago. Let's go FCS football. Mike McFeely is back in. Inforum.com, columnist. Mike, welcome on. How are you?
It's good to be back. It's a beautiful day in the upper Midwest right now, so I'm enjoying maybe the last vestiges of a beautiful late summer, early fall day.
I love September. It's been really good. By the way, speaking of weather, can you answer this question of the day for me before we get into the FCS thing? Question of the day, my Denver Broncos announced plans to do a new stadium. It's going to be done in 2031, and they're going to go retractable roof, state-of-the-art stadium in downtown Denver, just south of downtown Denver. Retractable roof in a cold weather team is what for you?
In Denver, particularly, no. It's one thing I think no, Denver. I mean, Denver gets cold, but not like super duper 15 below cold. I don't think. It's snow is the issue in Denver. I'm opposed to that. I would be for it in Minneapolis. Some super cold weather place, but I don't know that Denver needs a retractable roof. That's a thumbs down for me.
Thumbs down. I'm a Broncos fan. I go to a Broncos game at least one each year. The last one I went to, we were freezing. We were absolutely freezing.
Suck it up. You got to be tougher. I mean, I know it's warmer in Rapid City than it is up in our neck of the woods. So maybe you're soft, but you have to suck it up. And if you're a Broncos fan, why wouldn't you want to be outside? Why wouldn't you want to be out in the elements? It's part of what they are.
Because I want to enjoy the game.
It's like the Packers.
I want to enjoy it.
Can't go inside. The Packers can't go inside. The Vikings can, but the Packers can. The Broncos can't either.
Oh, okay. All right. As I get older, I actually want to enjoy my life. Anyway, okay. Let me.
I hate to tell you this, but it ain't happening, buddy.
Okay.
I'm older than you, and it just doesn't happen.
I love it. I love it.
Good goal, but no.
All right. Let's go to college football. North Dakota State, couple of walkthrough games here. Couple of walkthroughs. South Dakota State, the two biggest wins in the FCS. So where do you see these two programs after 2 weeks?
Oh, I think pretty similar. NDSU, despite their easy victories, they're going to be pretty good. They're just fine. Their defense is outstanding. We'll see a little bit more maybe this Saturday. Southeast Missouri State is not a great program, but it's better than Tennessee State or the Citadel. But South Dakota State looks like they're excellent defensively. Offensively, maybe have some things to clean up, a little bit a ways to go. But it's probably going to be another year where it's one or the other. It's going to end up being one of the representatives in Frisco. I don't. Kudos to the Jacks for winning those two games. Sacramento State was always overrated. I said on your program that it was going to be a blowout, and it should have been an absolute demolition by the Jackrabbits.
Yes.
They struggled offensively, and especially in the red zone. But the win over Montana State's a good victory for sure. But I think by the end of the year, by the time they meet in October, I think they will remain the top two teams in FCS.
Okay, how do you explain this? South Dakota State lost a bunch of guys, and they're still at the top level. It doesn't seem like USD is. They lost a bunch of guys. Were they just in a different spot depth-wise? Is their program just in a much different spot, the USD loss in the portal compared to the SDSU loss?
Well, I think there's probably, less depth. I mean, I think if you look at South Dakota State, because of the success they had for actually, South Dakota State's been pretty good for a long time. I mean, they just never got the championship until 2022. They couldn't get past NDSU. They couldn't get past Montana State. But up until a couple of years ago, remember, South Dakota State was not good. I mean, 2022, South Dakota State stunk still. I think they lost by 3 or 4 touchdowns to North Dakota State that year. And so they kind of had a rapid ascension. I don't think they had the chance to build the depth that North Dakota State and South Dakota State have, but maybe it's possible, too, that South Dakota State also did better in the portal than even I gave them credit for, but certainly better than what South Dakota did. Is some of that NIL money? Maybe. Is it just the tradition that South Dakota State has at their championship program? Maybe. But, boy, I watched that, at least parts of, I'll just say I watched parts of that Lamar, South Dakota game.
Yeah.
And we'll see where the Yotes are when they come up to Fargo in a couple of weeks. But to my amateur eye, they look nothing like they have the last couple of years. I thought both lines of scrimmage looked far different than they have the last couple of years. And so we'll see. It's a 12-game season. We'll see where NDSU is. We'll see where South Dakota State is. We'll see where the Yotes are in a few weeks, but it sure looks like South Dakota took a pretty major step backward.
Head coach Travis Johansson said, a couple of plays here and there. We had a couple of turnovers, fumbled into the end zone. He said that's a different outcome if we don't have that. But the deal is,
but anybody can say that. And
I was going to say it's Lamar.
North Dakota State could have said last year if we didn't give up 2 touchdowns in the last minute, we would have beat South Dakota. Well, they didn't. They did give up the 2 touchdowns, so that's part of it.
Plus, it's Lamar, and I mean, this isn't like a massive program, right? Maybe Lamar's going to be okay, but you should win those games, right?
Yes, there's no question. I mean, Lamar lost 51-0 to North Texas, and I know North Texas is an FBS school, but they lost 51-0. I mean, goodness gracious. Losing to a school like Lamar is not good. And to me, what I saw with my amateur eye was I saw Lamar's offensive line moving USD's defensive line, which shouldn't happen, and I saw USD's defensive line not being able to get enough pressure on Lamar, not being able to stop what they were trying to do when it mattered most. And so Bauman didn't have a lot of open receivers. Often he didn't have a lot of time. When he got pressured, he kind of threw some balls up for grabs. There was a couple chances for the Yotes to make some catches that they didn't make. But to me, the coach has to say something. I mean, you're not going to just say that, no, that was a terrible loss, but I think there's enough hints there that maybe USD isn't quite where they've been the last couple of years. But again, we'll see where they are. With all these all these teams, Nate, have all these new players, or at least most of them have all these new players. It might take, in some cases, some of them a while to kind of mesh and gel and kind of see where they're at.
Mike McFeely on tonight talking Bison, FCS, and more. Inforum.com for his work. Columnist live on the Nate Brown Show. So you say North Dakota State's fine. I mean, they've had easy games. And then you say South Dakota State quality win at Montana State. How would you want to start out with this schedule? South Dakota State with a couple of heavy hitters, even though you say Sac State maybe not be great, but they're still better than who NDSU played.
Yeah, but it's not going to make any difference because it all comes down to the Missouri Valley Football Conference schedule anyway. So NDSU and SSU will play in October. The Jacks will play USD, as will NDSU, and they'll both play UND. And we'll see where the chips fall where they may. If NDSU beats South Dakota State in October, they'll probably be on the inside track for a top 2 seed, maybe the number 1 seed. And if South Dakota State does the same thing, they'll be on track for a 1 or 2 seed as well. And so the games are more entertaining. They're certainly more fun for the fans and the media, and they're certainly more competitive. But I don't know if in the long run if it makes any difference in terms of seeding because they play each other. If you want to compare Montana State and South Dakota State, if Montana State gets itself in a position to say, we have 2 losses and one of them's to South Dakota State, then I think it's going to matter. I don't know that's going to matter to South Dakota State and North Dakota State in the end.
By the way, should we have our eye on UND here early on?
I think they're better than people expected, including myself. Coaching makes a difference, and if you have watched much of the Kansas State game as I did and some of the Portland State game, and by the way, Portland State is just god-awful as well, but UND did take care of them. I think it was 50-20, I want to say, but UND just looks different. A lot of the same players, although there were some new additions from the transfer portal, but I think the new head coach, Eric Schmidt, has several new assistant coaches, and it just looks like there's just a different movement to their gait. There's just more energy. There's more organization. I think that Bubba Schweigert, when he retired after last year, I think there's some people saying, he's just kind of a tired program, needed some energy, needed an injection of juice. And I think Eric Schmidt has brought that, and I think they're going to – I figured in a couple of years they're going to be pretty good because Eric Schmidt knows what he's doing. He's brought in some assistants with big-time experience, and UND didn't have that before. They had, frankly, a bunch of kind of Division II guys, but they are ahead of schedule. We'll see how they do. My prediction is they're going to beat Montana. UND has a fine offensive line. They got a couple of good running backs. Their quarterback is playing well. So I think if they beat Montana, then people should be able to say they're, at this point, the 3rd or 4th best team in the country, which I've said this for 1,000 years. I'm saying it even more this year. No knock on UND, no knock on anybody, but FCS just has a lot of teams right now that just aren't very good. And I think it's even, Tennessee State, they weren't great last year, but they were a playoff team. They were just awful. There's just so many teams out there right now that I just think the portal is just stinging so many of these teams. And that includes G6 teams, too. Yeah. I've watched a lot of G6 games. there's some bad football from the middle down in the Mountain West and the Conference USA and the Sun Belt. Those teams are getting hammered as well in the portal, and I just think you're seeing the effect of it already this year in college football.
Speaking of the portal, I'll let you run on this. What's your reaction to Mark Gronowski's first 2 games at Iowa here?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a whole different deal. I mean, when you're playing the teams that they're playing now compared to who South Dakota State played, just like NDSU does every year in the FCS, it's a whole different deal, but he certainly seems to be struggling. I don't know. I don't know if there's lingering effects from the injury. I don't know if it's just a higher level.
But Iowa's offense has been bad over the years.
He has to throw for 100 yards in either game. So it's Iowa's long struggled in the passing game, but he was kind of supposed to be the answer. Hasn't worked out that way so far.
Mike McFeely on tonight. Follow him there at Inforum.com. Columnist live on the Nate Brown Show. Good FCS coverage, Mike. Always appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
You betcha. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Mike McFeely on the Nate Brown Show tonight from Inforum.com, live covering the Bison and the Missouri Valley and the FCS. Columnist for Inforum.com. Mike McFeely in tonight. Let's go to Denver. Doug Ottewill, lifelong Denver resident, longtime Denver sports writer. Will he argue with me about a retractable roof new stadium for the Broncos? They just announced it today. New location, privately funded totally, retractable roof to close it up when it's bad weather. I'm on board. Doug Ottewill from Mile High Sports coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Tackle your heating or cooling project with confidence and save big money with help from Menards. Lower your home's energy bills and keep your HVAC system running efficiently by upgrading your heating and cooling system with new ductwork and accessories. Shop our complete line of ductwork products that will meet your heating and cooling needs in-store and Menards.com. Plus, view our weekly flyer for great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Watiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WatikiWaterpark.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True. And you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
Building your Black Hills dream? Builder's First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs has you covered. Top quality materials, product expertise, all your building needs in one place for materials and services. Just stop in or start at BLDR.com. That's BLDR.com. Builder's First Source. Build it.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, thanks for being here on a Tuesday. The Nate Brown Show live every afternoon drive on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Appreciate you making this show possible. Doug Ottewill's live from Denver. Longtime Denver resident. Well, Colorado resident. He's a tough Colorado rancher, man. You got to watch this guy. He's tough. Longtime sports writer, covering the Denver Broncos and more. Doug Ottewill. Perfect guy to have on for a new chapter in the Broncos and a new stadium announced today by the Walton Penner Group. Doug Ottewill from Mile High Sports on tonight. Doug, how are you?
I am excellent, Nate. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. So I'm on board with this thing. So I'm excited about this thing, but you tell me, okay? So one of the things is they announced the new stadium today. It's going to be south, across the interstate and south is how I explained it to everybody here in South Dakota. Like if you've been to Denver, where the stadium's at now, you go south, you go across the interstate a little ways down in the rail yard area. So that's where this is going to be. Retractable roof, state-of-the-art retractable roof. They can close it up. I know the reasons. Super Bowl bid, Final Four bid, concert. I mean, the whole thing. They can get a ton of use out of this. It's going to be state-of-the-art. I like the retractable roof. I don't want to sit on the snow anymore. I'm old. I like it. What say you?
I love it. I mean, I wrote a column, and this has probably been 10 years ago or something, that said, basically, we blew it when we built the new stadium, meaning Invesco, which then it was called Invesco.
Yeah.
But, the reality is that they did a cool job of trying to make it like the old Mile High, but it wasn't cool enough to make it a state-of-the-art stadium. So it was kind of, I wouldn't say the stadium was out of date the day they built it, but it wasn't anything special. And I think that this ownership group, they're going to produce, and I heard somebody else talking about this, they're going to make the best stadium on the planet, not just, in Colorado or in the NFL, like in all of sports. And I think anytime you have a chance to do that or experience that as a fan, I mean, hey, what can't you like about that?
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. That's interesting. Best stadium on the planet. That doesn't surprise me. We're talking huge money here. We're talking massive money. What do you think of them privately funding this? A ton of stadiums, like almost all of them now, get some public help. They get some public help. They say they're going to go private funding on this. Does that mean a lot?
I think it says a lot about the ownership group. I mean, and the other thing, rich people own stuff. They don't lease things. They don't ask for help. They're taking it all. They're buying it. They're taking all the risk, and they're reaping all the reward. But I will say this: there's got to be an asterisk in here somewhere. It wasn't said today, but I guarantee you it's coming. There will be personal seat licenses in the new stadium.
Yeah, right.
That's not a fact. It's an opinion of mine. But, I think something like 3/4 of the NFL, their stadiums have personal seat licenses, and we don't. Colorado, Denver Broncos have never been a franchise that's had that. But I think it's coming, and I think, as excited as people are today, that'll be a wave of really ticked off people. The history of the Broncos sellout list and the waiting list for season tickets, it's awesome. But as soon as that happens, it's going to price out some people, and that's unfortunate. But I also, I get it. If you're a billionaire owner and you have a long line of people willing to pay whatever to get into to consume your product, you're probably going to take advantage of that. And that'll be an interesting day, because today's exciting. The day that news comes out won't be, and it might not be for 5-6 years.
I just got a listener text from a season ticket holder from South Dakota, longtime Broncos season ticket holder. He said that's his number one concern, the personal seat license charge. He said they're going to price some fans out of this. So stay tuned on that. By the way, they aren't going to ask for, the public help, like public funding and the taxes and that stuff. So that is part of it, which a ton of stadiums have done. So this is a guarantee, Doug, that you put this new stadium up by 2031. I hope we're all still doing well. Super Bowl's coming. Final Four's coming. We're talking this is going to be the premier spot. They're going to get big events.
Oh, huge. And, I mean, I think you've seen it time and time again. Pretty much anytime there's a new stadium in the NFL, a Super Bowl is not, it's not far from that. But, I mean, you think about all the other things that take place. And, I mean, just take concerts, for example. I mean, you can't buy a ticket to Red Rocks in Colorado at face value if you wait longer than 5 seconds. I mean, this state has kind of blown up with its, appetite for entertainment. And I think when you open a venue up like that, you get the Morgan Wallens that'll come through in December now instead of always having to do it in the summer. You get, huge acts. You get bowl games. You get Final Fours. I mean, that's all stuff that's coming here, which is great for the city, but also great for that ownership group.
College football playoff, national title. I mean, you're talking some big stuff, and people in South Dakota like stuff that has not been close by, really. Doug Ottewill on tonight. Mile High Sports, the Broncos ownership group announced the new stadium plan today. Projected completion 2031. Retractable roof. What do you think the fans say to that? We get, I like it. You're saying it's good. There's a lot of fans, though, that say cold weather, it's an advantage. Teams that come here. So do you think they could close it or open it based on who they're playing? Like Dolphins come in January for a playoff game. Do they open it if it's 28 and snowing?
It wouldn't surprise me if there's some strategy behind that. I don't know that the NFL has rules against it. I think it's just as a general rule of thumb, you're probably going to ask your fans. You want your fans to be comfortable. I was someone that was sitting there in 2012 when Joe Flacco hit the deep bomb that knocked the Broncos out of the playoffs in the divisional round when they were probably the best team in the NFL that year. And it was cold. I mean, really cold. And I believe they win that game going away if we had the conditions the right way. I mean, that was a finesse team. It was, Peyton Manning's first time. They're throwing the ball on everybody. You have a day like that when it was bitter cold, and you get beat because you're the home team and you play in a cold place. And it's one example, but I generally think, the other thing is funny. I was at the Super Bowl in New York. That'll never happen again.
Right.
The very next morning, every airport on the island was shut down because of the snowstorm. They missed it by about 12 hours. I mean,
but it was still cold and windy, right?
Yeah, it was cold. It was definitely cold in the stadium. I mean, I just think that the price of going to sporting events these days, it's for better or worse, it's a wine and cheese crowd. And I think when it boils down to it, they'd just as soon be comfortable, and I think that's what they'll get.
All right, and that's what me and Doug will get. I mean, Doug always gets it.
I am old. I don't need to be cold anymore. I sat out in a lot of really, really cold games when I was younger, and I'm okay with the idea that, hey, it's not the we've never been the frozen tundra, so, it's okay.
All right, the elite of Denver, like Doug Ottewill. He's a rancher. Give him a break. I mean, he's tough, too. Come on. Doug Ottewill on tonight. We'll talk more Broncos. I had to get you on the stadium today. Let's do it again soon. Broncos 1-0, but a little iffy, as we know. Mile High Sports. Doug, appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Hey, Nate, it's an electric scooter ride away from my house, so as soon as it's built in 2031, you're invited.
Big time.
We'll take a pair of scooters down there.
I love it.
Go to a game.
I love it. I love that. That's good reference right there. Doug Ottewill on tonight. Always appreciate him. Broncos coverage from Doug and the crew at Mile High Sports. Coming right back to the Nate Brown Show. Who's hot and who's not? USD football gets hosed today. I'll tell you coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Stock up and save on the toughest filters in the business during Wix Filters sale days at your local Auto Value Parts store. Not only will you get the best deal of the season on our very best filters, but you'll also find deep discounts on oil, fluids, grease, batteries, and more. Upgrade your filters during Wix Filters sale days at your local Auto Value Parts store. See store for official sale dates. Auto Value. We've got the parts. We've got the smarts.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Lows dip down to about 57. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tomorrow, slight chance of thunderstorms. High of 87. Lows level off around 63. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 75 degrees.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
It's time to hit the court at the Wautiki Fall Hoop Fest, November 7th through the 9th at the Box Elder Event Center. 3 days of non-stop basketball action as teams battle it out for bragging rights and glory. Divisions for boys and girls, grades 5th through 10th. Bring your game, bring your team, and bring the energy. And when the game's over, celebrate with special Courtyard by Marriott room rates that include Wautiki Water Park passes for even more fun. Don't sit on the sidelines. Register your team today at thebox.live.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Who's hot and who's not? Every night at this time. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show tonight? In my Who's Hot category, that's Sunday Night Thriller, Bills, Ravens. I hope you stayed with it. That averaged nearly 25 million viewers on NBC, the highest audience for an opener since 2022. Huge numbers for Bills-Ravens Sunday Night Football for the NFL. Just massive. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, so USD's playing Northern Colorado this week. USD has a whiteout theme. All the fans, white. The players in their white unis. Get this. Northern Colorado has denied the Coyotes' request to wear white uniforms. So the Coyotes wanted to wear white. They got to wear red. Because Northern Colorado, no. We're going to wear our white. I hope USD just punches them. Petty stuff. So the whiteout for USD at the Dome has become the white, or the fans in white, the team in red. Why do teams do it? I don't get it. Northern Colorado is going to get hit, I hope, by the Yotes. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. The podcast going up right now. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Fleet Farm's turning 70, and you're invited to the party.